What's going on, folks? Hey, not the outcome we wanted on Sunday, but we're still going to be talking about it anyway, right? 'Cause that's what we do through good and through the bad. So let's go. What's going on, Falcons fans? It is episode 60 of Out of Your Falcon Mind, Atlanta Falcons fan cast, coming to you here on the Variety Sports Network. We're a couple of days late because of our schedules to recap this game, but it's all good. We made it. We're here. Mike, how are you doing, buddy? And this is my co-host, Mr. Mike Cottrell. Y'all already know, but what's going on, buddy?
Y'all know who I am. I'm fucking sad and fucking mad, and y'all know why. Okay, the Falcons made me mad, and the Colts made me sad. So let's get into it. Out of your Falcon mind.
Yeah, we'll have a little bit to talk about today, man. So first off,
hold on. Before we start, shout out to Johnny Yates in his starter jacket. If y'all can see, I mean, just the starter jacket alone, okay? Then the shirt and the hat with the logo in the back. It's like, it's just unreal at this point. Just please go to YouTube and check out the Johnny Yates starter jacket. It is ridiculous.
Hey, and shout out to Dave Falcoholic, man. If he hadn't posted this, that Homage was selling this, which, by the way, Homage, if you're listening, hey, we're down for a sponsor anytime you need one. But yeah, dude, this brings me back, dude. I had one almost like this when I was like 12 years old.
That's dope. That's so dope.
And I was like, I was like, no, I told Amanda, I was like, yeah, this is going to happen like today. So we're going to get this one. But yeah, man, before we get started, shout out to Big Low, man, Big Low Country, who joined us last Thursday. We ended up talking with him for like almost 2 hours, but man, he had a blast. We had a blast. It was a good time. Did you make it to Costco to try the pizza?
I did not make it to Costco. I've been working like hell, man. And then the Maddie news, disturbed me. So I will be going, but
the Maddie news just
I did not make it so far.
It's all good, man. Well, whenever you do, you have to report back. So
I will.
I mean, I've already tasted it, but I got to get your opinion on it too, and everything else about it. So, and then listen, if it's y'all's first time in listening to us, look, our listenership and our followers have went up a lot over the last month, and that is greatly appreciated by everybody that's been listening to us. That's helping us, retweeting, liking, leaving us 5-star reviews, commenting on the videos, all that stuff. Like every bit of it helps us, and it helps new people find us, and it's great because it just keeps us growing. We love it. So thank you all for the old listeners. Thank you all, and welcome into the new listeners. This is just what we do. We do a preview show every week. On typically Thursdays, we do a recap show depending on our schedules, either Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday, but never later than Tuesday unless just some catastrophe happens. But have on cool guests throughout the year, throughout the season, and just talk about it, man. We just tell it like it is. I mean, we don't really pull any punches. We'll eat our words when we need to eat our words. We're not too shy about that. So it is, we don't think too highly of ourselves. We can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
No, we don't. We don't take it too serious. And if y'all didn't check out that last episode with Lo, it's worth listening to. And if you just trust me on this one, if you didn't see it, or you didn't catch it, it's worth listening to. Just trust me. And it's a little long, so just break it up. You're driving to work, coming home from work, at the gym, again, going to work and come home.
Yeah, I mean, we previewed the Bengals, of course. So, if you don't listen to that part, there's a whole other probably hour or
if you want to skip the first part
of content.
I mean, I wouldn't say skip it, but if you want to, you could skip it. If the whole thing was good. We had a blast. You're going to laugh your ass off. Trust me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, man, how was your weekend, buddy?
It was good. It was good. It was
watch a little football on Saturday.
Did. I watched some football on Saturday. I didn't get to see all my games on Saturday because my girlfriend had something I had to help her with. So I still got them DVR. Didn't get to watch both of those yet. I will be watching those. But great football on Sunday. I was a few games that I was really hyped to see. Got to watch a few of them. Did good in my fantasy, but lost as per the usual.
I lost by 2 points.
Breece Hall is done. So I was thinking about John. You were the first person I thought of. I said John gonna be mad, but And
what's funny is they traded for
like
James
Jonathan
Robinson.
Taylor sucks. So
Yeah,
you really in a bad
figure.
way. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and what was crazy is they traded for James Robinson, who I had as well for the Jaguars. So hopefully he's going to step in and just take over Brees's role and start, and everything is hunky dory.
Start doing the same thing. Yep.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, so Josh Allen was on a bye week this week. That's my quarterback, right?
Okay.
So you know who I picked up?
You got Matty. Yeah, right?
Because he went off last week.
Almost 400 with 3 touchdowns.
He went off. I'm like, okay, here we go. He's set. Man, he got me like 9 points.
Man, I drafted him. I drafted Matt Ryan. That's how much of a Matt Ryan. I drafted Matt Ryan and had to let him go because he just wasn't doing well.
Yeah, you drafted him as a backup, though, wasn't you? You didn't draft him.
It was a backup. I have Pat Mahomes and Tua.
Yeah, like you're not crazy like that.
No.
But I just needed a fill in for the week, and I figured like, hey, ride the hot hand from last week. Nah,
yeah,
didn't work out that way, man. If I'd picked literally any other quarterback, I probably would have won the game.
Any other quarterback.
Literally,
you should have got Trevor Lawrence. But Daniel Jones, really, he's the one to get.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna tell y'all this funny thing about my week, and that is hilarious. I forgot what triggered this, so don't give me the line. But I forgot what triggered this. But I'm in a call with my girlfriend, and I turn to her. I say, if we were stranded somewhere, and some dudes were, if they was about to kill us, and they tied us up, and they asked you like, you get to choose, like he goes free, or you go free, or we kill both of y'all if you can't choose. And I'm asking my girlfriend, what would you choose? And the funniest shit, we argued about this. This was a 4-hour argument. All right. God. Started off as a joke because she picked no, like I wouldn't want for you to go free and then I'd be there alone. So I was like, all right, but then she said, but I wouldn't want to be free and leave you there alone. So I said, so what would you pick? She said, I would think like both of us would die. And I'm like, well, that wouldn't make any sense. He's saying he's going to spare a person. Why would you want both of us to die if he's willing to spare a person? Because if that was me, I would spare you. I would just say, all right, go ahead. I do it. You could go ahead. And you wouldn't. And she was like, no, I would want both of us to die. And I was like, but he's trying to spare a person. It got into a whole thing. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I can imagine she didn't like that answer that much. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. No, I'm cheaper than me now if we ever get in that position.
Well, now you know. Yeah, now she knows.
I know. More important. Yeah, right. I'm picking me.
That's hilarious, man. Yeah, no. On Saturday, we watched some football, did some yard work, and then Liam, of course, had a tournament on Sunday, and it sucked because like normally on Sundays when he's got tournaments, I'll shut off. I'll put my notifications on silent, so I don't see anything. I don't see text. I don't see. Twitter, nothing. Like I forgot. So I forgot what we were. I think it was during the first game. Had to be during the first game because our first game was at 1:00, right when the Falcons kicked off. Yep. So I'm looking. I see my phone buzz or whatever. I'm like, oh, is this? And looking, it was your tweet saying that number 24 is a huge loss or whatever. I was like, you gotta be shitting me. So then I couldn't put it. I was like, I had to look see what happened. Mm-hmm. So I look and I was like, he got hurt. I'm like, oh damn! I see the scores like. 14-0 already or whatever it was at the time. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So like I kind of like was in and out throughout the game because I figured like I've already kind of seen, like what's gonna happen. So I was kind of I didn't see any of it. Now I watched the first half Sunday night. I watched the second half yesterday. And then I watched it fully again just to kind of put myself through that again. But so good weekend though, buddy. They won their first game. They lost the second game by a run. They still got into the championship game based off their run differential, and they won the championship game. And
the championship.
And
go Liam.
That's their second. Yeah, their second in a row, man. He and Liam pitched in the championship game. He pitched 3 innings of 1-hit ball.
Damn. And, okay.
He was on, man. He was on last night or Sunday night. It was fun to watch.
Hey, so when he wins, is he humble or do he talk a little shit with it? He got a little attitude with it, or is he kind of like, no, it was just a good game?
It's funny, like he's humble around his friends and all the other parents. He gets in the car, he's like, I'm proud of myself. I did so good. He's like, they probably won because of me.
Yeah, like, that's the way they only won because of me.
He said it before, dude. Like it's not, I mean,
I love it.
Oh, it's in front of everybody else though. He's like, oh yeah, I mean, he's totally humble and like great kid, and then he's a great kid regardless. It's just funny as hell when he gets in the car and he talks about how good he was and like stuff like that. Once
I love it, man.
Yeah, it cracked me up, dude. Yeah. So anyway, Yeah, man, it was fun. So we've got we're off next weekend, thankfully, so I'll be able to watch the Panthers game in real time. And then we have the final tournament of the fall will be the week after that, which will be the Chargers game. And I tweeted this out. Toby and our boy JR from Pound for Pound are going to join us next Thursday for like a little mid-season review and preview the was it Chargers game. But Liam also has an orchestra concert next Thursday, so I forgot about that. So I hit him up. I said, hey, can y'all do the 10th? So it's the following Thursday. So November 10th, y'all mark it down. November 10th on Thursday at 7:00. I think that's gonna be Out of Your Falcon Mind and Pound for Pound again together, and just reviewing the season so far and talking about the upcoming game against who will be at that point. I don't know who's after the Chargers, but it'll be
the heavyweights. We always have really dope shows with them. We bring in the heavyweight boys in.
Yeah, man, it's going to be fun. So, and I'm trying to get, we'll check and see if y'all are familiar with Twisted Torch TV, trying to get him on for our preview show on Thursday. Dude does a great job with his channel, so I got to get in touch with him on that. But
I'm trying to get the Colts coach on. We need to have a private conversation. That's who I want to talk to. Before we go on, let's talk about how we broke the 49ers and had them doing dumb shit.
Wow.
Let me tell you something. They didn't need to do that. You gave, I believe, 3 first-round draft picks for Trey when you had Jimmy. Then now Trey got hurt. The one thing y'all can do is run the ball really well. You got several. It didn't matter who you put back there. You was running really well. So to do that much for him, this dude is an all-world talent, but still that you didn't need it. It's just that they couldn't run against us, so they went and did some ridiculous shit. They are great at running the ball, but they couldn't run so good against us that we stopped them so bad that they went out and got a star back that they didn't even need, to be honest. It was nothing wrong with Jeff Wilson. They can run the ball with who is it, man? Debo Samuel. They can run the ball with Tevin Coleman. They was not having no problem running the ball except for us. But you see what we made them do. And we got him out of our conference. So shout out to the Falcons.
Yeah, and shout out to San Francisco for taking him out of our. We got to beat him, and then they took him, and then we have to play him twice. And Tevin, actually, I saw earlier he got cut today, which not.
Did it? Yeah.
Yeah, which is not really unexpected after you signed him. I wouldn't have touched it with a 10-foot pole, dude. Like he's got to prove he can stay healthy. I mean, like I can't. I mean,
John said that, and I mean that in the real league and in fantasy, bro. You got to prove you got to prove that you can fit. It's like your Julio Jones, bro. I drafted Julio Jones. Like this is how loyal I am. I drafted Matt Ryan and drafted Julio Jones. He played 1 full game so far. That was the first game of the season. The man ain't. Bro, your knee hurt. You didn't do nothing. How did you hurt? Did you hurt yourself in practice? Did you hurt yourself when you got up out the bed? You didn't get. That's why I'm just like, bro, like y'all got to prove y'all can finish the season before I do this again. And it ain't nothing about loyalty, but you got to finish for me, man. Julio Jones, for me to keep vouching. I'm not vouching no more, bro. You like a Lego man or something. And
I wasn't sold whenever
John said it wasn't sold. I was like, man, I said, yeah, John, I drafted. I got Julio Jones and Tom Brady, Julio and Tom. And he was like, yeah, if he could finish. No, he said over.
What was it? 6 games? 8 games? I forgot.
Yeah, like said. 6 games or something. Like over under. And I ain't know how to answer that. I'm those all hype, but John was right.
Yeah, it happens from time to time.
It happens.
So, all right, man, let's get into the game, and then we'll get on to a few other topics. So, obviously, not exactly, the start we wanted. I mean, we got down early, and that's kind of like you would think that's what teams want to do against us, right? Because they know we want to run the ball. We know Arthur Smith loves to run the ball. They want to make Mariota throw the ball. That's just kind of what's going to be the recipe for success. So, granted, now Burrow definitely the best quarterback we've faced so far. Definitely the best wide receiving tandem, whatever you want to call it, trio that we faced by far. Well, I may not say by far. Tampa Bay's up there, but they're probably better than Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
So, and they're good. And then that was with our ones. It was going to be tough with our ones. Okay.
Yep.
So you lose AJ, Casey's already gone, D's hurt, and then Hawkins goes down later in the game. You're down like what, 4 out of you 4 guys?
Yeah.
4 year ones, and then
I saw my mother at safety. It was weird. I saw my mother suited up. It was weird.
Dude, So number one, like I'm not even gonna be mad at the defense. Like there were some problems and some holes, but I mean, Cornell Armstrong, bless his heart, man, he came off the practice squad like the day before, and he played like 58 or 59 snaps yesterday.
And he tried his best. He got burnt a few times, but he also stopped a few plays. And
he did.
When you coming off the practice squad, man, I'm not holding you to no type of fire. I'm not putting your feet to no fire. No, you didn't even get a chance to practice with the playbook or nothing. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I mean, is exactly right. And I thought Darren Hall. I think Darren Hall will be fine. I mean, it's his first start as well. And
man, I will say this: two things that really stuck out to me in the game is Joe Burrow's mind is ridiculous because it's Tom Brady and Peyton Manning are really the two people that I've noticed when I watch football. They knew where the holes in the zone was at 100% of the time. I know where I'm going. I know that I can throw this ball before you get there. I know you gonna go over here. I'm gonna look you off. Joe Burrow was just finding it seemed like everybody was wide open because that was his brain, was finding the open hole in the zone or wherever the open man was. He knew just where he was gonna sit down. And so that's big shout out to Joe Burrow. And two, D'Angelo Malone and Troy Anderson was the two people that was tasked with the hit on Joe Burrow. They had to put out a hit on him before the game, and they told them two dudes, and of course Grady, but that goes without saying. But they must have told them two dudes, you get a bonus, because them two dudes was on his ass all day, and they was coming with reckless abandon, and they did pressure him from time to time, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, I mean, how did you feel? Because obviously I didn't get to watch it live, so I'm watching it replay. I already know what happened, so it's different, when you watch it that way because you don't have the emotion kind of like you do when you're watching it live. So like, how did you feel? Like, did you ever feel like we were really in it, like we were truly going to be like in it, or did you just feel like we were going to be one of those days that
Man, I was tweeting to stay calm. I always believe in my boys because of their attitude now, and they did rumble back. They made a few plays where I saw Twitter. It was people talking shit already, like we out this, then, and I told them stay calm because I knew that we would give something go. But it was wildly frustrating because I'm gonna tell you, man. What came into my mind was that everybody has got on our show and said Arthur Smith liked to run the ball, or he loved to run the ball. The one thing about Arthur Smith, he loved to run the ball, and I couldn't tell you the other day that was true. I felt like I can't tell if you genuinely like to run the ball or that you hate this quarterback so much that you don't have there's no other option. We down 14 points. We down 3 scores, and you can't let. He attempted 13 passes. Now this is a game where we need to play catch up. Still, you would not trust the man to play catch up. That means even the commentators are saying we got to get this going now. We're running out of time. And
I heard him say that.
Yeah, and you just keep handing the ball. You will not let the man throw, and that just like it is blowing my mind. I'm about to drag Arthur Smith in one more week because I feel like, man, if you don't trust him, why are you not putting in Ritter? Dog, I'm all for we have to run first, but there are going to be games where we have to throw to win, where our quarterback has to throw passes that are like every other quarterback. We cannot have a quarterback that cannot throw. He could just throw 4 and like 5-yard pass, and then every once in a while, if we beating the shit out somebody, and we run down that throw, he could do one long one for 22 yards per game.
Mm-hmm.
That's not. We cannot. When we got to rely on our quarterback, we will lose. So I'm thinking like, let's swap the quarterback. Dog, when we all got hyped because he went like 13 for 13, like that's exciting, but it's kind of sad too. And it was infuriating to watch live because you know that our only chance to win was to start throwing. And when they kept running, you just knew he wasn't going to win. This take way too long. We getting 3 yards, then 2 yards. You kind of knew we was going to lose, and they wouldn't alter the game plan, and because they couldn't. They don't believe in Marcus Mariota. They do not have faith in. That's 2 straight games where we needed to start throwing, and you wouldn't let him throw. You didn't even try. You thought he would lose us the game if he got to throwing. And I just feel like, man, if your starting quarterback is somebody that you don't even have faith in, why are we not seeing Desmond Ritter? Do you have less faith in him? Because I'm like, man, any other quarterback in the league would have been, it could have been Teddy Bridgewater, and they would have said, start throwing, man. We trying to catch up. But with our quarterback, it was like, man, if you can't scramble or we can't hand it off, I don't trust you. So it was infuriating, man. It was infuriating for Marcus. It wasn't, again, he was playing bad. It was no pass plays called.
Right.
So that's why I'm dragging Arthur. Like, if you don't have faith in them, get him out. Because there will be games that we lose. So you saying, like John said, so you saying if we not up, it's already, if we got to win, if we got to catch up, it's over. Because you can't catch up running if you down 3 scores. So
I mean,
it was infuriating, man. I mean, it was hard. Like, I stopped tweeting. If you notice, I was tweeting, and I got so mad. Because it was getting ready to turn, like, energy wise. I was going to start to tweet some nasty things. So I just,
thanks for not doing that.
Right.
Yeah, no, but I get that. And I've from what I've heard on the radio and heard on other podcasts, a lot of similar sentiments as well. And I'll just say this, Arthur, they asked Arthur about it. I think Michael Rothstein from ESPN asked him about it, do you not think it was time to throw, or, basically the same thing you just talked about. And at the end of the game, when you were down, what does it not? And he said, he said, it's hard to, if you try to get it all back at once, it can sometimes lead to unintended consequences, putting the D right back out there on, if you go 3 and out. I mean, that's what you did anyway, running the ball. You had 4 drives in the second half. Okay, we
did it anyway running.
We had 40 total yards in the second half. 40 fucking yards in the second half. Okay, so, like, I get you don't want, I mean, there's not a play that you can get that's going to score you 25 points. So, I mean, I get that, but I don't get that answer so much. And I love Arthur. I really do. I just don't. I mean, and you let, I mean, they let Marcus throw. He hit a 75-yard bomb to freaking Bird, and I mean, he's gotten more accurate. We could tell last week, like, that part's improved. He looks more comfortable. Now I've seen some of the folks that have already done that, some of the all 22 breakdowns online, where he missed. I don't even know who it was on a go. I mean, he was matched up 1-on-1 with the safety, and he just missed it. He didn't see it, didn't recognize it quick enough. Ended up trying to scramble out a couple of yards, hit. So, and that's all, and that's not something new. That's something that's kind of been Marcus's deal his entire career.
Per game, he does that.
His entire career. So, did he lose us the game? No. I mean, our secondary being that just depleted. I mean, they could have, at the end of the game, if they wanted to keep passing and just keep the pressure on, they could have done that easily. They basically just passed the ball. Their passing game at the end of the game was just an extension of their run game, because they're hitting everything. So it was keeping the clock going regardless. And they never really even, I mean, Mixon got off to a pretty decent start. Like we talked about on the pregame show, we talked about, like, how they were kind of switched up their run scheme to more of a gap style, and was still trying those wide zone runs, and they did it, and he was still getting 3 or 4 yards at the time. But dude, they went up. They had 200 yards offense in the first quarter, bro.
Yeah, and their intention was to run, but the pass was going so good. They was like, we don't even need. We just keep throwing, and we'll throw to everybody. And it was like, I'm not lying. It was infuriating to watch, because it was like a person picking on somebody that couldn't, who just wasn't, who just couldn't fight back. And when everybody kept dropping, it was like they were scorching our starters. So I'm gonna start there. When the starters started to drop, it was like, oh, we giving the ball to everybody. We spread this thing. It was nothing y'all could do, and we got beat so badly in our secondary. You remember when John texted me and said, man, what happened to AJ, man? And I told him what happened. He said, man, we needed him, or something like that. And I told John, when you watch this game, you don't know how true that statement you just said is going to be. Like, you have no idea. I hear you saying it, but you have no idea how much we really needed him.
And I can't. I mean, like the throw that Burrow made to Chase down the sideline and double. I mean, dude, my God, like the throw and the catch. I mean, like, that's just, you can't do anything about that. That's amazing throw and catch. But now, getting back to Arthur, I mean, I have a hard time. Like, man, you got so predictable there in the second half. It was run on first down almost every time, then throw on second down, and There's got to be more creative ways to, like, dude, I watched Travis Kelce a few weeks ago catch 4 touchdown passes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you not think they were trying to take him out of the game?
That's what I'm saying.
Do you not think, like, every game, like whoever the primary wide receiver one is, whoever their star player is, don't you think that the defense trying to take him out of the game? There's ways to scheme him open. There's ways to get him open or throw him open, for Christ's sake. And I did see Mariota throw into a couple of, like, just, hey, throw it up to Pitt, see if he can catch it when, double coverage type of thing, which you haven't seen much of. But yeah, I mean, you either have to let him throw it and call more pass plays to either prove, number one, that he cannot do it. Because if you're not going to just, and I don't mean open it up and throw 30, 40 times a game, because that's not how we're going to win the games. Like, our play action is how we open up the pass. That's just period. I mean, we still got 107 yards rushing. It wasn't the prettiest thing in the world, but we won 107 yards rushing. We had, I think, he threw for 124 and threw 75 on the one throw. So 49 yards passing outside of the one throw.
49 yards passing. And like I said, I'm not putting this on Marcus.
Right.
I don't like Marcus. I'm not a fan of his. I've already said that. But this was on Arthur. Like John said, man, I was more getting pissed at him because I feel like this. You name the starter, but I just keep going back to this. How bad is Desmond? Because in preseason,
I don't even think it's that.
John and everyone else thought he looked great. So I'm like, how much is Desmond sucking in practice that you just like, nah, I can't do it? Because, I mean, anything will be, man, you won't even let him attempt to catch us up through pass.
See, now,
which is the default of all quarterbacks in the National Football. It could have been Teddy Bridgewater. It could have been Zach Bailey. Like, you're going to start throwing. And, like, it's only one team that they be like, nah, we're going to keep running this ball and just hope that they break like a 80-yard run, which they don't do.
All right.
So I'm questioning Arthur Smith at this point because I'm just like, this dude, man, I just imagine where we would be. And I'm not saying we would have won that game. I think we would have still lost that game no matter who our quarterback was because the secondary was depleted. But what I'm saying is imagine what our record would be or where we would be in the standings if we had a competent quarterback. So that's why it's infuriating.
Well, and it kind of leads me to my point. So I don't think it's that Ritter's bad. I think it's the fact that, like we talked about last week, that Mariota has the locker room. He's got the support of the guys. They all know that they're a run first offense, and he hasn't, outside of those first couple of games where it was quote unquote knocking the rust off or whatever, he's played well. He hasn't lost us a game like we talked about before. So I think it would be a lot easier if we were 1-6 or 2-5, right? The fact that we're 3-4 and the fucking Bucks went and lost 21-3 to the Panthers to keep us tied for first. I mean, technically they have because they beat us, but I mean, like, we're 3-4, they're 3-4, so we're still in the playoff race. I think if we're out of the playoff race and it's and say Tampa Bay was 6-1 and we were 1-6, 2-5, we probably have a different conversation. It's probably Desmond. It's probably Desmond at that point. The fact that we're still in it and he's not losing you games, like I put this more on Arthur than I do on Marcus.
Me too.
More than, like I said, I and they actually I think they called more pass plays. He just got either sacked or had to scramble out of them, so because the pass protection, we didn't talk about that, but that hasn't been great either. I mean, I know, like, I saw a stat said he has like the third most time, but that's not, like, there's ways that's kind of not completely accurate with the way that, that include, I think, like chips and stuff like that from the tight ends, running backs, all that stuff. But regardless, like, I'm not making excuses for Marcus either, because Marcus has to be better too. But if you're not, I mean, there's only my question is, how long are you going to say? How long is the rust going to last? Is my point, right? So, like, if he hasn't played in 2 years, we know that. So, like, how long are you willing to go to say that the rust is gone and he's, and he's like, this is NFL now. This is not like, this is not the minor league NFL. Like, this is the NFL. We have to win games now. So, like, if you're not going to let him throw, and try to get you back in the games, because I need him to prove to me that he can't. Because right now he hasn't had the opportunity to prove he can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, give him the opportunity to prove to everybody that he cannot do it. And if you give him the opportunity and say, okay, we dropped back 30 times, in a game that we were down. Now, I'm not saying just do it off the bat. Like, every game, our game plan is not going to change. We're going to run the ball down. We're going to try to run the ball down people's throats every time, and long methodical drives, get in the end zone, play defense, get it back, try to get a turnover. So that 49ers game is the blueprint of what you want to do. We want to get up, run the ball to death, make those stops on defense, and
play action.
And play action. And look, I pointed out last week on the pregame show or the preview show, those 3 big drops by the 49ers. Okay, that didn't have that. I mean, that could have changed that whole game, dude. Like, those 2 drops across the middle, those were explosive plays. The one, the holding call back by Ayuk, that was explosive. That could have changed the outcome of the game. Period. Well, that didn't happen this week, but the same thing. So, like, our defense still has a little ways to go. We know that. I mean, even with our ones in there, they have little ways to go still. They're still young, a lot of the guys, a lot of moving parts still. It looked like to me, when AJ was in there, they started off in cover 2, which is what we kind of expected when you're going against Chase and Boyd and Higgins. And then when he dropped, it looked like more of a cover 3, and they were just finding those little holes in the zone and just ate them up all day. And so, and that was, without having seen all 22s, I mean, I'm sure like all the fault can be shared amongst the secondary and stuff like that. I mean, and when you're going to play cover 2, cover 3, also you're hoping like hell that your front 4 gets pressure, because if they don't, then you're screwed. And they did. I mean, we had 3 sacks. Malone got his first. Carter came across. Like, Carter blasted him, I think, one time. And Grady got his. Looked like it was almost the same sack as Brady, but thank God he didn't get the call.
Troy was on his ass all game.
Yeah. So I mean, I mean, like, there is, and I mean, I think your last tweet might have been, or somebody I saw was like, they boys still fighting, and they fought until the last minute.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, I mean, they don't stop fighting.
Don't give up on my team. Like, my team was going to do it, and they fought, and they made a game out of it. But like I said, I think that it was frustrating, man. If I'm being stabbed to death and you have a gun and you using a slingshot, I'm confused, because I'm getting stabbed to death. I'm getting cut to death, and so I want you to use your gun, and you're still using a slingshot. It was confusing, because even the commentators and announcers was confused. Like, why? Oh, we got to get this going. Like, if they gonna stand a chance at competing in this game, we got to get this going. And it's just like, you couldn't.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't trust him. That you just like, we keep running, and just his plan was hopefully somebody break a long run. And that's not a good plan to be banked. That's like saying, if we Hail Mary, how many times is it going to work? Like, we need you to have faith in the quarterback. And if you don't have faith in him, no worries, just replace him with somebody you do. Because right now it seems like you only have him in there to run when you want to run first, and he's only good at running when the play breaks down. Like, you just want to run through the running backs, and you want to run on the passing plays with him, but you have no intention of passing, and you can tell that per the stats of our star tight end and our wide receivers. They have the lowest, like, I'm telling you, in the league. This is shocking everybody. Drake London is getting no yards, getting no catches. Kyle Pitts is getting no yards, getting no catches. We 7 games in. These people have hardly any yards and hardly any catches. So that's not using the man. You drafted first round for Drake London. You don't plan on seeing. Kyle Pitts was your star unicorn. You don't plan on seeing. So I'm just saying, like, and even Marcus Mariota, bro, this is who you picked. I don't think anybody in our stadium and our fan base was calling for him. And didn't nobody say, you know who we should go get? Marcus Mariota. You went and picked him. So you went and picked somebody you have no faith in, bro. I'm starting to question you. And like I said, I ain't drug you yet, but you got about 1 more week to do some dumb shit where, man, like I said, if you don't have faith, man, all the highlights was noticing it. The highlights, you could see any highlight you watch was saying the Falcons still running the ball here now, which is a head scratcher, which is confusing. They don't trust Marcus Mariota. Man, that's what I'm saying. The article from I won't even get into it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I want to see if we're down in the game. like I want to see him. Let him go. Because let me, for Christ's sake, let him prove to us that he cannot do it.
Yeah.
Because then you can say, okay, look, we let him go.
He didn't. Yep.
It did. Either it did work or it didn't work. But somehow you got to find out with live bullets, man. You can't just assume that he can't make these plays or can't make these reads. We've seen him make good throws. We've seen him make it in tight windows. We see him through a bomb. I mean, like but man, we run a ton of curl routes. We run a ton of little short crossers. We run a ton of little there's.
John said it best. The best way I've heard it worded was what John just said, and that goes for Mariota and Ritter. You got to find out with live bullets, man. You can do practice, but you got to find out with live bullets, man. And I don't know what more you need to see, how this man is still getting the pass. But like I said, like John said, it's like even if you think he can't, allow him the chance to prove that he can.
Right. And I think of how many attempts he had. What was it?
13
attempts. So like 7 of those, if you don't count 2 of the penalties that were called back, 7 of those were actually targeted to Pitts. So like he's actually, he's being targeted, whether or not it wasn't successful really, but dude, London one target, 1 catch.
I traded him off my fantasy. Cause it's like, dog,
there's no reason to have any Falcon receiver on your fantasy
team. And it's not the faith in Drake London, man. Drake London might explode this season, and I regret that. But I'm just saying, it seemed like, dude, don't call calls. But in a game, we call 13 pass plays in a game. It don't matter, man. Even if we a run first offense, 13 pass plays is sufficient in the NFL. You can't win like that. So what I'm saying, bro, if you really trying to win, I don't know why this man is still starting. Or I don't know if he is starting. I don't know why you not opening up. Even if we need to walk him along, I feel like per week it will be gradually like man, opening up the playbook.
Yeah.
Like man, Dean Pease on the defense is gradually opening up the play. Like you see new plays every week. Okay, they learn, we're gonna try this. I don't see that from Arthur Smith. It seemed like he's doing the same shit we was doing week 1. It seemed like it's been no like unfolding of new plays or playbook, nothing. We doing the exact same plays. Like John said, it's little curl routes, screen pass. You doing it's like high school football, man. So I'm close on your ass, Arthur. I'm gonna give you this week, but don't do it again.
Yeah, and they asked him about that in the conference on yesterday as well, and he said, it's his job, the coach's job, to figure out ways to get their star players involved earlier, because obviously, that's not working out. And he said, whether it's Pitts, London, whoever, is the key for them is just to evolve as an offense. They're going to look at everything that they always do. And he goes, sometimes the primary is taken away. You have to look. But that brings back the conversation we already had. Dude, everybody in the NFL is trying to take away your primary. Like Chase, it's not even fair to say that because he wasn't going against a number 1. But like those guys, Cup gets his targets and his catches every game. Kelsey gets his targets and his catches most every game.
Trying to, yep.
And they're, I'm not being a dick. There's ways to do it. We see it happen every week with other teams in the NFL. So that's part of his progression as a coach, and he's got to have to learn and figure out how to get these guys involved. Because I've seen the conversation about, how the hell do you take Pitts and how do you take London? Well, I'm not mad about either pick because look, we had no wide receivers. We had Oz. We had Lama Zacchaeus. That was it. So for us to go with London at 8, you can argue possibly who was still there. All the pass rushers were gone, like the big ones, like all the main ones are gone. That we kind of wanted, Hutchinson, Thibodeau, whatnot. A couple of tackles might have been there. Charles Cross was there. We could have went Charles Cross if you wanted to go tackle. We could have went Karlaftis possibly. He's having a good season with if we wanted to go pass rusher there. But I'm not mad at the pick. We needed a big star wide receiver. And I think he's going to be
awesome, bro.
Yeah, he's going to be that. Like I'm not worried about him, and I understand the pick, but like Arthur said, they've got to get more creative with it because you saw Marcus last week basically play a flawless game for the most part. Like he made every right decision, he made every right read. That game just played perfectly into our hands of how we want to win football games. So, but the problem is when that doesn't happen. Now the good thing is we don't really like Justin Herbert is going to be like the best quarterback we face over the next 5 weeks. So, because if you look at the games that we won, Seattle, Geno Smith, which I know he's having a good season, but he's not a prolific passer, Jacoby Brissett, Cleveland, same deal. Not a prolific passer, but whatever, run first type of offense. And then the 49ers, of course. You got Garoppolo, who can and honestly probably should have been a lot closer with those drops.
They was dropping passes. Yep.
Right. So it's those upper echelon quarterbacks, they're going to beat us every time, dude. Like, because I mean, our defense, especially being hurt, like unless they can more effectively rush the passer and really, really clamp down on their assignments, because you could see yesterday that there were some guys late to the play. There were some guys late to their assignment, whether it be Hawkins a few times. I think McCall Walker was out of position a few times, just based on what I saw. Of course, you're going to have the rookies making mistakes. So, but when you can't make those mistakes against elite quarterbacks, and Burrow, man, I mean, we have 481 yards yesterday. That was the second most against a Falcons team in history. You know what the first most was? You probably would never guess.
Who?
Jake Plummer. Remember him? Jake the Snake Plummer.
Wow.
From Arizona, 499 yards against us in 2004.
Damn it. I don't even remember that. Threw for 500.
Yeah, and before, and I think third is Joe Montana, 1990.
I believe anything with Joe Montana. If y'all don't know who Joe Montana is, you go look at Joe Montana. But I mean, before I could speak words, but I knew what that was. But I would say this. Also on the defense, what I saw, which will improve gradually over time, is when your defense is in and they're new players that just came off the practice squad or they backups, they tip the fucking play because they're not advanced enough to show a look and then alter it real fast to get. So they just know that one assignment. I know they just get in the game. They was giving away when they was coming, and they was giving away where they was going to be. And like John said, a good quarterback is like, oh, I know he coming. I know it's going to be wide open right there. I know where I'm going before. So they just sit there and wait. And he was just doing. It was art to watch on his part, because that man he knew what hole in every zone. He knew who was coming and where the hole would be, and he was going right there. And they didn't care who the receiver was. It was Tyler Boyd, Hayden Hurst. He knew it was flawless. If y'all watch that on their part, that was some tape to see. That was flawless victory. That was, like John said, if he wanted to, he could have really piled up the points. So, shout out to them for having some class at the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, their first 4 drives were touchdowns.
Yeah, they could have really. Yeah,
I mean, their first 4 drives were touchdowns, and they had to punt. But shout out to Avery Williams, man. 56-yard return. I told you, I keep telling you, he's going to break one, man. Like he got one, and he got us that field goal before half there. Which, I mean, again, watching it on replay, I mean, I felt like, okay, I mean, like it was close-ish at half. We start off the second half with the ball, don't do anything with it. But then it was frustrating too, man. I just they showed a stat with 5 minutes left to go in the third. Mariota had attempted 9 passes at that point for 96 yards. 75 being on that one throw. With 5 minutes left to go in the third quarter, like Arthur, buddy, dude.
You threw 4 more times and we was losing viciously. Like you threw 4 more times in a game. So that's why the fans and the announcers, everyone was like, well, are you trying to win? Like, are you attempting to win? I don't know what you're doing.
We had that with a 10-minute drive, right? We don't have time to get multiple 10-minute drives. We don't have that time. It's just we didn't have it. So, and that's what I mean. I wrote a note to myself watching it. I said, fourth quarter, we made a stop on Cincy, forcing the punt, and our first 2 plays were run plays, and they were negative, or one was negative. So we have a 3rd and long again. We have to punt again. Like, dude, like you gotta get more predictable.
If you don't trust the quarterback to throw, why put him in the 3rd and long? There's just.
And did you see Cincinnati's defense? 8 in the box.
Yep.
They're like, fuck it. All right, here we're gonna come after you too. So if you do throw, we're coming after you. But otherwise, we don't believe that that you're not going to stop running. And that's basically exactly what happened. And and I said too, running on first and second almost every time. Sometimes they would throw on second. Hawkins getting that concussion sucked. I mean, we didn't need him going out. And Mike Ford got hurt as well. He came back in the game. I wrote down the announcers even saying that you have to get some chunk plays at this point. You can't these 2 and 3, 4 yard runs not going to cut it. I mean, I mean, normally I'll do like a quarter breakdown. I didn't even do it that time.
Me neither. I
because
didn't.
it was just, I don't know. It just seemed like it wasn't that there was no need, because it was almost just like you could. I wrote down just like bullet points of like just stuff that was annoying
That's
me
all
or
I
that was
did, and it
good.
was only 3. I wrote. I always have a page of notes. I wrote down 3 notes. It was. I mean, it was just so simple. Of the back, I mean, like the secondary, it's just nothing you can do. It happens sometimes. That's not their fault. I'm not getting. And even I think that Dean Pease just got put in a very, very. There's no way to coach out of that. Sorry,
well, it's funny.
You great, huh?
No, it's funny you said earlier about some of the play, like not the tip and the plays are not really like the new guys that came in there.
Yeah.
Our boy Damsky, Adam on Twitter, he pointed out earlier too. I noticed that on a play, like Michael Walker was basically just doing the play as you would on paper, but then didn't really adjust how it was actually unfolding in front of him.
That's what I'm saying.
And didn't go, he just kind of went back where he was supposed to go, where the play tells him to go. But there's a guy running free in front of you that you probably should go take care of at that point. So like, that's the stuff, and people forget. Yeah, he has the green dot. I do like Michael Walker, but he's still a young dude. He's still young, and I mean that's just the bottom line. So
and we love him, but like you expect these mistakes, and like I said, don't drag Dean Pete. You can't coach out of that.
Yeah,
you can't coach your way out of that. So that's not his fault.
No, my entire criticism of that game is on Arthur for not opening it up or trying to open it up. Just trying to open it up. Like I said, I don't. You can tell me all day long that Marcus is not a deep thrower. He's not I need to see it, man. Like he hasn't played ball in 2 years. He says he's more confident. He says he's more comfortable in the offense. I want to see it, man. Like I want to, like he like I said, he went back to like all those. But that's what happens. That long bomb to Bird. That's all of our running. That's guys keying in on Pitts going on a short route.
You have to do that once a quarter. Right. Just try it. We always run. You got to go deep at least once a quarter. It don't make no sense you trying that once a game.
You got Drake London, who's a fucking matchup nightmare for most every corner in this league.
Yep.
Just based on size alone. Give him an opportunity, man. Throw him open if he's not. Like, give him a chance. Throw the ball 7.5 feet high. Let him go jump for it.
Dog, I don't care if you throw it to Zacchaeus. Just go like design a play for Kyle Pitts deep. I just want to see it.
Yeah,
I just want to see him go deep.
Yeah, and like, look, it's the same offense last year. And I mean, Matt was not. He's not the quarterback for this offense, but they ran the same offense.
Yep.
Or, I mean, just it was without the quarterback mobility, basically.
Yep.
And Pitts had what, almost 1,000 yards, over 1,000 yards, whatever he had. So I mean, with limited options at quarter, we didn't even have a number 1 wide receiver at that point. So I mean,
a way worse line.
Way worse line. So I mean, it's there. You just have to, like, you've got to, like I said, this game has to be better. It's got to be you got to be more creative with it. I mean, and I'm not saying like I said, we're not like the dude emailed us. Our criticisms aren't going to change anything. Like that's, I mean, we know that we're not coaches, but I mean, it's just from fans looking at it from our perspective. It's like, I mean, dude, that's the only other thing you do. That's I mean, there's only so many ways you can coach a football game when you're down 21 points.
And I tell you this, exactly. When you down, it's
18 or whatever the hell we were down.
And I'll tell you this: when you become a man, you don't get that. I'm just not good at. I just don't do that thing. Like we do that to children. But I'm gonna tell you a thing that has always gotten under my skin is when a grown man. I just feel like, just say I've seen this with my own eyes several times. When a grown man is with his girl or his wife, and a dude is like disrespectful to his girl's wife. I've seen so many dudes opt out of that. Like, oh, I gotta go in the house. If it wasn't for this, if it wasn't for that, I would respond. But if it wasn't this type of time, it wasn't like, you got an excuse every time. And I don't feel, and I understand there are people that are not confrontational. I totally get that, because I've talked to a few of these people now. That's just not me. That's not who I am as a person. And that excuse is why your girl should cheat on you when you do shit like that. I don't want to hear that's not just you. You have to step it up. If it's not just you, you don't get to do that. You don't get to like opt out of things that make you uncomfortable. It's already on. He disrespected already. So if it's you or not, I expect for you to speak up. And that's what I'm saying. It's not that it's his strength suit. No, he's not Patrick Mahomes. But if that's him or not, we down 21 points.
Right.
So if that's his strong suit or not, you don't get to opt out of that. That's not a baby. That's a grown adult that plays quarterback, played it in college, played it in the NFL. You got to throw. That's what quarterbacks do. So it's like you don't get to do that. And that's why I was mad at him, because I felt like he was still trying to keep him safe and I don't want to put him in a position to not
fuck
play.
that.
Said, yeah, fuck that.
Let's
when
go.
Well, you can't just go it all with a chunk play because then you set the defense. No, that's his job as quarterback, is to throw us forward when we lose. And then like, man, when your quarterback can't win you a game, it's so sad that our standard for our quarterbacks now, just don't lose us one.
Yeah.
You know, well, I mean, I hope you go win us one. I hope you help us compete. It's just, I hope you can handle the snap, which he did again. If this is not incompetence to you all, I don't know what is. I just don't know what is.
Yeah, Marcus said after the game that they have to do, it starts on first and second down. They have to do better at getting, chunk yardage there. Like they did against San Francisco. They had, they had third and shorts all day long.
Yep.
But Cincinnati was like loading the box and saying, we're not going to let you do that. We're going to force you to have to throw. And he said they put their defense in bad spots. I mean, they kind of went both ways. Defense kind of put them in bad spot. They put them. I mean, it was that was equal opportunity there. And he said they have to do a better job of getting out of negative plays. He has to do a better job of not taking sacks, getting the ball out of his hands. So like he takes ownership of everything. So like I give him props on that. Like he puts all the blame on himself, which is good. What you want a quarterback, you don't want it being Baker Mayfield. you know what I mean? Like that's what you don't want in the situation. An author said after the game that there's too many negative plays on first and second down, which there was. And he said the passing game was average. Well, brother, you called the plays.
You was calling runs on for. What do you mean? And you didn't switch it up when you seen that didn't work and you didn't adjust.
Yeah, he said didn't do enough to sustain drives. Clearly, and they asked him about if there was a thought of putting in Ritter at the end of the game or at all. And in the game, he said that he might have put him in at the end if we'd have got the ball back one more time. When it was basically nothing left on the clock. He said they would have put him in at the end to probably hand it off a few times and just get some runs with the one. Which I mean, okay, I guess you get him on the. I don't understand. You get him on the field, I guess, but. So yeah, I mean, I don't know that we're going to have these type of issues against Panthers this week. I mean, I don't see that really happening. I mean, granted, like I said, their defense obviously is good enough to hold the Bucs at 3 points, but we have a very different offense than what the Bucs have. So we'll talk about that on the pregame show on Thursday. But yeah, I mean, the other note that I wrote down about the game, man, I was trying to find it. No, I already said that. Never mind. So I already saw the notes that I had written down. It was, like I said, there weren't a lot, but I did write down this. We had a total of 214 yards, and like we already said, they had 200 in the first quarter. So they had 537 total yards, man. They were 7 for 11 on third down, which has been our Achilles heel a lot. Which again, the defense is going to do what they can with who we have missing. The passing, Burrow attempted 42 passes. I mean, they could have ran the ball a lot more. They weren't super effective with it, which is good, good for us. But I mean, they didn't have to be because you got three stud wide receivers and freaking, Joe Burrow throwing the ball to you. So I mean, and then the one pick that we had, Richie got and then got called back because Abdullah Anderson was offsides, which kind of sucked because that could have been a good play. So yeah, I mean, it was just all in all, just there's plenty of blame to go around in that game. It's not like, I just feel like any team that sees that, watches that film, is going to say, shit, that's how we beat the Falcons.
Throw early, and we want to get up on them.
Get aggressive.
If we even get up 14 points, they probably cannot come back from a 14-point lead. It was like Alex Smith. I remember when they used to say that about Alex Smith. Like, if he get down, there's no. But even he could throw. He could throw, and I've seen a few quarterbacks who they call like a game manager. They can throw. So with Marcus, I really want to see me throw. Man, we're in week 7. We're just week 7. If you can't still be saying he don't know the playbook, or he warming up, or he's still rusty, or he coming along, or we gonna see in the future. We halfway through the season. What is who the players are is who they are, man. Ain't no still learning. Ain't no still. I'm getting used to the NFL. Ain't no none of that. What you see is what you get now. We halfway through it, damn near. So no, I was not on board with that decision making on Sunday. It was infuriating.
Yeah, I know. And what's going on, Toby? He said, "I don't think I ever heard Mike be made at a player on our team." MM1 even got him ticked. We won't throw. Yeah, man.
Toby,
Toby,
you never heard me get mad at a player on the team. You should wait till the end of the show. I got some shit for that too. But nah, it's just because I love the team and it's so Jolt game. And what's up, buddy?
Jolt?
It's so frustrating, man, to watch. What are you trying to just get home or are you trying to win? Because that seemed like we just trying to get home, like we just trying to get home to our wives and some food, man. And that's what it looked like. And that shit is infuriating, man. When we got Drake London, why go get him if we not throwing him up? Why go get Kyle Pitts if we not throwing it up? And why you picked Marcus Mariota? We did not vouch for that. Did nobody want Marcus Mariota? That was your guy, which means that you knew something, that we had faith in you. We had faith in you. Ain't nobody had no faith in him. We had faith in you.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not using them correctly, or you chose incorrectly, and you went and got rid of it, which we all loved in preseason. But you won't even let him play because you rocking with your guy, but you don't even trust your guy. So it's like, put our guy in there. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I mean, until it's just not gonna happen, dude. It's not gonna happen, not in my opinion. And I mean,
you don't think the whole season? Don't tell me that, John. I'm get depressed.
No. It depends. I think if we're still in this playoff hunt, and again, if Marcus is not losing us games, and we stay in this playoff hunt that we're in, then I mean, he's not going to upset that and bring in a rookie that potentially, because if that goes south and say Ritter doesn't do well, oh my God, he's cooked. Because he took out a quarterback that wasn't losing you any games, that y'all are, if we're, it all depends on the results of these games. And these next 5 games are going to be really, really kind of telling, I guess you could say. So I don't know. It's just going to be interesting to see how it goes. Toby said, they for Desmond Marcus just a place. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, he is. And it's just, I mean, and Toby, we said earlier in the show, if we were 2-5, 1-6, we'd be probably having a different conversation right now. It'd probably be Desmond Ritter time, because what would be the point of keeping Marcus in there to to not even make a playoff run or anything like that? But I mean, to be sitting here at 3-4 though, and it's crazy that number one that we're tied for the division at week 8, whatever 9 it is. but I mean, to be sitting here at 3-4 when we, and argue or kind of pissed off that, certain things, like we're in a pretty decent spot based on, because we're still in a rebuild, man. Like we're not like a tear down complete rebuild, but we're still rebuilding, And so like, I think people will get lost in that too. They see that performance last week and they're like, oh shit, we're back, like, yeah, maybe not yet. Let's just see. Like you said last week, you said you gotta go have to repeat it because you were like, yeah, that's great and all, but I want to see it repeated, multiple times. And that was just a tough matchup, man. Just like I said, this was a tough matchup for, even with our ones, it was a tough matchup. So I don't even know. Jolt said Falcons are the Falcons. We knew they were going into B. We all knew we wanted them to step up, but we knew we're not Super Bowl contenders. Yeah, of course not. Yeah, we're not Super Bowl contenders. I mean, it'd be cool if we made the playoffs and see what happened, but yeah. Joel said, let's just enjoy the ride and support our birds. Yep. I mean, and that's, yeah. I mean, I don't, I mean, we're going to, like Mike has said, like we've said since the beginning, if it's going to be Marcus, okay, great. But again, I need this, if we're going to be down in games, you're going to have to let Marcus throw. I don't care if he throws 5 picks. I want to know that he did it. Like, okay, we know it. He can't do it now. He threw 5 picks. Okay. All right, cool. And let's move on.
And I feel like this, as much as you have faith, if he got faith in Marcus, so he's sticking with him, as much faith as you have in your pick with your guy, you also pick Desmond Ritter. So have some faith in that guy. Have some faith in Drake London, who you pick. Have some faith in Kyle Pitts. Have some faith in the other dudes, man, that to throw up some jump balls, to go deep. No, I am disgusted, Toby. He laughing now. He said, Mike looked disgusted. So this is why I'm not even funny. I have no notes for this. I wrote 3 bullet points because it's like, dog, what the fuck are you doing?
Toby, he said he stopped tweeting because he was about to
I stopped tweeting because it was going to get nasty. I was getting ready to get
down.
real, and I don't do that on. It's a share. This is me and John.
I would have been at the baseball game looking at everybody
like, what is he doing? So I didn't want to do that, but I'm like, I'm disgusted with the coaching, really the coaching and the quarterback choice, because you picked them. Don't be disgusted. Have you ever heard? You know what I deal with all the time. My friends get under my skin with let me tell you something. When you have sex with a girl and you finish or it's biological what's about to happen. I don't know how this blow your mind. 100% of the time they blown away. Like, she did this all on her own. Like, and she want to do this, and my baby mother. You pick your baby's mother. Same way you pick your husband, you pick your wife, or you pick your child's father. When y'all be complaining about your child's father or your child's mother, it's infuriating because nobody made you go do that. And even if you were going to do that, it's these things called rubbers. I don't know if you heard about them. You could have did that. It's like 10 other things, which I won't get into, that you could have prevented that with. But you chose to not only do that, but do it unprotected and the finish. Now you blown away. Now I just feel like this.
Look, you will never get that reference on any other show.
Out of your Falcon mind is what I'm saying.
There's a reason that's our name.
It is. It's a reason that's our name, out of your Falcon mind. But this is the point.
Shit.
Like, man, you pick that person. You had a hand in that. So you could have picked anybody. Now you pick this person and now you complaining about it. But I'm like, you fucking picked them. So I feel like that with Arthur Smith. No. You picked Marcus Mariota. Now, if he can't, whatever, that's your pick. You could have went and got a lot of people. This is the man you picked. He was at home on a fishing boat. You call this man in. Now, he looked like he was home fishing. And you look like you have the faith in a fisherman. Like, he a fisherman. If this was a fishing contest, you might let him go. But now, since it's a throwing contest, you have no faith in him. But all I'm saying is, if you do have faith in them, also have faith in the other dude. You picked Desmond Ridder, I'm guessing, for a reason. You saw something. So let us see what you saw, man. And if you saw Marcus, if you chose him because you feel like he can run and throw, well, let us see him throw. Yeah. Let's just see who you picked, man. That's all my point is. I'm really mad at Arthur Smith, man.
Yeah, like I said, I want to see. I'm the same way, dude. I want to see him throw. I want to see him just prove me that he can do it or he can't do it, just so we can know. And we kind of figured, we thought that this might be the week that we see Desmond at the beginning of the season, just looking ahead. But nah, it's not going to happen.
And to be honest, we all know why I'm really mad, but we'll get to that in a minute. We know why I'm really got an attitude now. We all clear on that. We haven't got to that yet, but you know why.
Yeah.
Toby,
I mean,
my guy going there. I'm snapping, Toby. I'm in the back.
It's a different energy, man, when we lose. Yeah. That's just different energy. Is. But no, I mean, it's, and looking at the trade deadlines coming up, I mean, I don't think we're going to do anything. I mean, we may have to go out and sign a corner. And they asked Arthur about that. He said that they have faith in their guys, but, if this is something long-term for AJ or, somebody else, I mean, they may have to go out and pick somebody else. The bad thing is if you're still a free agent at this point in the season, I mean, there's a reason for that. But I mean, I wouldn't mind bringing in like a veteran type of guy because you don't want to bring in another young guy for this, but I wouldn't mind seeing that. But I don't think we're going to do anything with the trade deadline. I don't know that
you can't.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't. I mean, if you're talking about like a late round pick for a good pass or a decent pass rusher, maybe I don't. I'm fine if we just kind of stay pat and just keep our picks and go for it. But Joel said Panthers should be a good game for Ridder. Yeah, I mean it would be. I think. I mean they do it. Panthers do have a decent defense. I mean, but and
plus it's at home.
It's at home. I mean, I don't disagree. I don't disagree with any of it. I just don't think it's going to happen because they're going to keep. And until he just falls on his face, which I mean he may or may not do. I just don't see how you go into next season without knowing anything about Desmond. Like, you know what I mean?
That's why I'm saying
because you the team's going to be another year into the rebuild. you're going to expect to be a lot better next year. Not just better, but a lot better. Like contending for your division title next year. With dude, look at this. The Saints got all kinds of problems, and they got money problems galore. Panthers, I mean, we've seen their issues. They're selling off everybody. The Bucks, dude. I don't know if Brady comes back or not. I mean, he's gonna be we went there in a walker, like I mean, like so. I mean, there's just, I mean, there's we got to know either like what Desmond is by then, or figure it out, because we can't go into the draft next year not knowing what our quarterback is. That's the most important position on the field. So we're not going into next season with Marcus as our quarterback. There's no way. There's just no way. I mean, unless he just has some kind of revolution, which I mean, 8 weeks in, I don't think you're gonna. I don't think you're gonna see that. But
imagine John Lennon voice. He put imagine John Lennon voice.
I missed one. He said maybe they're going for Lamar. Well, maybe I mean, we talked about that too. I mean, if that was a possibility. But that's great, Joel.
Hey, no. I would love to Lamar, but like, here's what I'm saying, and this is the confusion on my end, and why you see my face like this. It's clear that Marcus isn't the guy. Now you may allow him to finish the season. He won't be our starter next year. I don't think anybody think that. It's clear he isn't the guy. What I'm saying is this: as I'm a coach, if I'm a coach, the moment I've determined this isn't the guy, I go to Ritter, because I have to see.
Right.
Now I don't know how you determine he isn't the guy, but he could still start. Then what the fuck is on your biscuit? I don't even know what the strategy is, bro. You're not using common sense at this point. You're not even using logic. And I'm not the smartest guy on the field. I'm not the sharpest tool in the drawer. I'm not the highest grade of weed in the dispensary. But I will tell you this, man. And once you've decided this ain't the guy, why are you not even seeing if he is the guy? Because so John said, so you can definitively know next year, man, we let Ritter go at it for a few. If you put him in, you would just say you was gonna put him in on the last drive so he could hand the ball off. For what? So he could be seen. So because it's like Aunt was at the game and you wanted him to see his aunt see him play a play, that wouldn't make any sense. What benefit is that to him or the team? He just got on the field. He made some hands. You just wanted him to hit a crowd. Like, bro, you getting under my skin, and you got about one more game to do it before I go on a 10-minute rant, dragging your chubby ass back to where you came from, and you getting under my skin with the lack of logic and common sense that you are using. You made this man a starting quarterback, yet you don't trust him. That's like having a wife that I'm proposing to who I think is a hoe. That wouldn't make any sense, would it? That wouldn't make any. I don't trust her, but here go a ring. Why would I put you in position like that if I don't fully trust you? So that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and it's crazy online too. Like you see, like there's been a divide all year long, but like to see like the some of the like staunch supporters of Marcus, which is fine. Like we said before, Marcus is a great dude. Yeah, it looks like he's a great human being, whatever. But I mean, I want what's best for the team. So, like, it's not that I don't think he's he's a bad person or whatever like that. I want him to play better as a quarterback. So, and again, it's not like we're just judging him based off one season. He's been in the league now for 8 years. He got benched. He didn't play for 2 years. Like, and our boy Trey Sean over at the New Millennium Falcons, he had a great tweet that I had to share, and I think you'll like it, Mike. Going off of what you're talking about today, he said it's one thing to make excuses for one of your franchise's best players ever. That kind of emotional bias makes sense. I cannot understand those same feelings for a journeyman on a 2-year deal who is playing subpar on average. I want you people to want better for yourselves because you deserve it. Stop settling.
Dog, that's motivational, like Steve Harvey shit that he just put down. Like, stop settling for less in your life. Like, why are you our standard is so in the toilet? Like he said, if we screaming Matt Ryan, you kind of get that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can understand. But I don't really understand the Mariota thing. Once you realize he ain't the one, then I mean he ain't the one. You wasting time. Joe Gaiman said, what do you guys think of Fabian Moreau balling in New York? And in here with the Falcons, he couldn't even catch a cold.
Man, it's funny. We looked at some of his stats last year when he was getting cooked, and they weren't as bad as it seemed. He was getting thrown out a lot because they weren't going toward AJ. They knew, why would you go toward AJ? Because I mean, you got Fabian on the other side, so he's gonna be targeted a lot. So I mean, for $1 million, he was great. I'll take him for $1 million, but he's playing his ass off this year. So kudos to him.
Quinn too is fun. He went and got all the Falcons. You just go to
Dallas
the Cowboys secondary.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, he went and got like 3-4 Falcons. He just he go get his guys.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I think we broke down that game enough. There wasn't a lot of good things to talk about, really. I mean, we talked about Mark. I mean, let's just end it with this. So we know Marcus is going to be a starter probably this week for sure. There's no way, like I said, and again, it goes a lot of it back to the team supports him. When we get CP back, man, that's going to be a jolt. I mean, no pun intended to jolt here that's joining us, but that's going to be a jolt to the system for our team, for our offense. So that may change some things, but man, I hope to God we're not down by 14, 21, whatever to Carolina this weekend. But if we are, I just want to see the man throw the ball. I don't care if you think he can't. I need to see him do it or try to do it. So at least I know, and we all know that he can do it or he can't. But whatever. I mean, yeah, like I said, there was nothing else really good to talk about for that game. So
now we can throw that away, and we could talk about why I'm really in my feelings right now, if you wanna.
Yeah, so I texted Mike yesterday. I said, buddy, Matty got benched. And I believe I could hear the tears through the text.
John, let me tell you something. I hit him back and I said something like, damn, I know I just heard. Then John, he wrote me back twice, and I couldn't write him back. I went and I saw this story, man, and I would say this. That really hurt me. Yes, it was some emotional shit because I feel like, damn, he's getting embarrassed, and I don't want him to feel like embarrassed. And I know what millions of people are gonna say now, and I felt like that's why it pissed me off, because I feel like y'all know, if you're a Matt Ryan fan, if you're a real Matt Ryan fan, y'all know we have to argue on his behalf. It isn't an agreeable thing when you say something like Aaron Rodgers and the whole room agree. You really have to argue for Matt Ryan, because the whole room is gonna probably be like, well, what has he won? What has he done? What do you mean he's good? If he was so good, then why not? And a lot of us, our point was, well, you will see now. He go to the Colts, you will see he get an offensive line, he got a running game, he get good. Now you're gonna see what we was talking about all them years. When he finally got everything around him, you're gonna see. And then to have this happen, it just give all those people, if you've been on Twitter, I had a few people call my phone. I got a lot of texts with that. I do. Look at your man. I thought he was gonna do this. I thought he was gonna do that. And it's just like, man, Matt Ryan, they never add context to him, and I just hate the fact that he always need context. It's really infuriating, man. They don't add context and say when he was in Atlanta, he had one of the worst offensive lines you could ask for. Just was getting punished. Was one of the most hit quarterbacks, and still was doing exceptionally well for that stat to be true. Then the man go over to the Colts, got one of the worst lines in the league. He's, I believe, the most sacked quarterback, or tied for the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. And their running game, don't know what. John Taylor been hurt. They haven't done nothing on the running game. They just starting to get the passing game going. And they pulled him. And I'm just wanting to tell you, like, I don't agree with you pulling the quarterback that you traded for, you paid all this money for week 7. That is idiotic. You got to allow them to get a chance to go. If he's playing horrible, then I think you go at it that way. But Matt Ryan was playing well. For that stat to be true, I'm the most sacked quarterback. Matt Ryan has single-handedly about 3 times this year brought them back from a game they should have lost and won it for him on the last 3 times in a year. Like, so some
of it's on him though, a little bit.
Yeah, right.
Like the fumbles.
Oh no, he has struggled. I'll be the first one to say that Matt Ryan hasn't played his best. But what I'm saying is this: when you go to a brand new team with a brand new playbook, when brand new players, you don't have chemistry. I'm not expecting for you to play your best in the first 7 weeks. I don't expect for you to, come out smoking. I'm not expecting that of no quarterback that switched teams.
Did you hear what Frank Reich said today about it? about
what do you say?
about what he told Matt?
No.
He said that he told Matt that they didn't follow through with their end of the bargain. Like they promised Matt the best offensive line in the league. They promised him the best running game in the league, and they didn't follow through with that.
No, they didn't.
So it's just, and I'll let you get back to it, but like it's just a shitty situation altogether. I mean, Matt hasn't played for the most part, barring that one game against Jaguars, hasn't played well. Lead the league in fumbles. Like bad intercept. We both watched that Broncos game. He looked not good. And so it's a bad situation. Frank Wright's coaching for his job now. So like he's trying to make whatever decision he can make to try to save his job. So
and I'm gonna be honest.
It's just sad that because I wanted him and Julio to kind of go out on top. And the way it looks like they're going out is just, it makes me sad, man. That's just not how I wanted those two guys to end it.
It really is, because that's how I feel. It's a sad thing because, again, my overall point is that they don't I feel like Matt Ryan always requires context when you're explaining it, but then people don't care about context when it's said and done. To say, like, I can sit here and I can argue all the time. If Barry Sanders had Emmett's line, so you can't really compare the two, because you had a way better team. You had a way better advantage than he had. But in the end of things, it's just who had the most stats, who had the most running yards. We're not gonna get into every year who the coach was and who was the coordinator. We know who had the most yards and when it's said and done, because that's how we ranking them.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling like that with Matt. That's unfair, because was no player asked to do more for his team on his own than Matt Ryan was when he was at Atlanta Falcon. If y'all recall, about 2 years ago, James Harden was single-handedly scoring 60 points a game. That's what I feel like Matt Ryan did as a Falcon. And it's so unfair that we won't talk about the fucking context around that, of why he had to do that. And y'all still shit on him and still critique when he didn't win this. Yeah, well, you playing by yourself. So then when you go to Colts, you just wish so well for him. Like, man, I want you to win a Super Bowl. I'm going to be at the game. I'm going to get the jersey. I just hope you do well, man, so could put all these people, all these haters to rest. And when you go over there and you're not playing your best, and they don't help you with the running game, and they don't help you with the lineman, and your receivers are just coming on now.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't have any advantage. He picked the easiest spot to land, where he would have the most perks and advantages.
Yep. And Joel just said they even called him the closest thing to Manning, which is, we both thought, Mike and I both, we thought, we're like, yeah, they're going to go 11 and whatever, 12 and 7 or 12 and 6, 12 and 5, whatever the hell, how many games we play now. Math is tough for me. But like, we figured, like, yeah, playoff run, possible Super Bowl run, like all that, so now I fully admit, man, we were dead ass wrong on all of that.
Like I said, it's just he didn't get one perk. And the whole O-line and run game disappeared. Again, he's figuring, well, this is the best. Of course, he want to hit Shanahan, and you want to go to some other place. But I bet he studied and said, this is the best possible land. They got a running game. They got the line. Yeah, it just looked like a sure thing. And all they needed was a quarterback. So you figure it's about to be up when he go over here. And then he didn't get one of those perks. He didn't get a great offensive line. He didn't get the running game. He didn't get the receivers, but all that will be remembered is that he shit the bed. He didn't play well. It won't. That whole context I just said will be not. It'll be you went over there and you got benched, especially if the rookie plays well. If the young dude go in there and he does well, it'd be no excuse. But to have Matt Ryan bench is kind of shameful.
Well, and the folks this year that have never been Matt Ryan supporters, they were quick to jump out there. Oh, well, this seals that he's not a Hall of Famer. Like, I've seen that online.
They going on him online.
I don't even comment on it, because it's just an asinine thing to even get into.
Man, I saw because like 20 of these where they were like, what is for all his fans and supporters, what is your excuse now? Now you switch teams, steal some shit. And that's what I'm saying. There will be no context added. It's you didn't win over here. You went over here and you didn't win. Now the conversation is dead about if he's good or not.
Yeah. Football, ultimate team sport, right? It is. Like, you've got 11 guys got to be doing their job to be successful. Patriots proved that year in and year out without stars and stuff like that. I mean, that was Belichick and that was Brady, right? That did it. So, I mean, and anytime I talk to anybody that said that Matt's not a Hall of Famer, I mean, I quote some stats. They're like, well, stats can be misleading. No. Stats are exactly what they are.
Yeah, stats are facts.
100% why people go to the Hall of Fame or they don't is based on their stats. If you suck ass and you have I don't know, you throw for 10,000 yards and your rating is 74, but you're a wonderful guy and you treat the media great, and you give them all birthday cakes and shit like that, you're not going to the Hall of Fame still because you sucked. Your stats were terrible. So stats are literally everything when it comes to the Hall of Fame. And I mean, I'm just going to say, man, Matty's had 225 games, 5,445 completions at a 65.6% percentage completion rate. 61,743 yards, 269.6 average per game, 376 touchdowns to 179 interceptions. And with a rating of 93.9. That's Hall of Fame numbers. I don't care what was going. Again, you can talk about Marino, you can talk about other guys. I don't give a shit, man. Like Marino didn't have a championship, but he had some really bad teams around him. He had some bad teams around. It's the same thing, man. When you have a organization, we just cut Marlon Davidson today. We didn't talk about this. Second round pick from another one that Dimitrov could not pick. When you got guys like that, that's hitting you got lucky with Jarrett and stuff like that. But man, when you're just hitting on guys here and there, and you're building a team completely wrong. I mean, from the outside in
for a long
ass time, and then you still gonna. I mean, I got nothing else to say, man. Like you just don't understand football at that.
You can't. You have to include the context. Yeah, it's just hate, and I'm gonna be honest. I don't know why people feel that strongly toward that man. Out of all the quarterbacks, it's just that they get really infuriated when they hear you say he's good. Oh, he's great. Like people go, how the fuck can you say this motherfucker? Like y'all, and even people in Georgia, like there's no other quarterback who gets that much hate or excited. Like they are happy he got benched. They are happy that the man got benched, and like all of them saying, "Oh, I want to hear the Falcon fans now saying he good now." Oh, the excuse now is what? He went to a whole nother team. He still some shit. He still lost. Like now, what you gonna say?
Hey man. It's always that one game overreaction or that whatever. That's all it is. It always is. And that's what, I mean, DW talked about it a long time ago when he came on the show with us. It's like, as soon as some guy has a good game or a bad game, whichever agenda they want, they're going to just make it fit that one for that game. Then when it's the opposite, it's quiet. It's crickets. Nothing, so.
And so I hope he doesn't finish the season. I'm going to tell you what's good about Matt and why you can't feel bad for him. Matt Ryan get like $54 million over the next 2 years or something. Like he'll be paid. Matt Ryan don't care. Like of course he want to, but Matt Ryan is guaranteed to get paid anyway. He's rich.
Got a great family, a couple of great kids. Yeah,
he got a great family, great kid. He don't need to do it. He's 37 years old.
I wonder if he's going to coach. I wonder if he's going to coach one day.
He would be a great quarterback coach, man, with the knowledge or like a coordinator. I would love to see him be a coordinator. But I would want this for the cost, man. If you can't trade the man away so he can play, I think he'll be starting again because I just don't have. If he couldn't do it, I don't got like a player being able to do it behind him. Matt Ryan is really talented, so if he's in there and he can't, and I know he can't run, but if he's shitting the bed with your offense, I don't think you're. But they was just getting it going, so that's why I'm like, you trade all of this for a quarterback. You do all this for a quarterback, and then you give him 7 weeks. How have we been more patient with Marcus Mariota than the Colts been with Matt Ryan? I just have no idea when he's played better than Marcus. If you want to be real, so I'm like, but like you said, when you're coaching for your job, you feel like I got to do something drastic before I get fired. So it's just a sad day in Georgia, man.
Joel said, "Imagine if Succaneers picking up after Brady."
And I'm not buying that jersey. You can have that shit. I'm not rooting for him. I'm not. If he go in our division, you gonna hear me trash Matt Ryan. I love him, but you gonna get every bit of the dragon you go in our division.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I'm not even gonna respect that.
No, 100%, man. So all right, well, That's our recap and our Matty Ice talk from getting benched. And we didn't mention he does have a shoulder separation as well.
Yeah.
So that was the reason he was not going to play. But then Frank Wright did say that he's not going to. The plan is for Ellinger to keep starting the rest of the season or whatever. So we'll see how that goes for him. But all right, buddy. Underrated, overrated.
Underrated, overrated. Let's do it. Okay, let's do underrated. I'll do I got one overrated and one underrated and one overrated. So I'll do my underrated first. I'm telling you guys, man, listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. Underrated NFL Primetime. That is a show on the ESPN Plus app. If you don't have the app, don't worry about what I'm saying. If you do have the app, you have to go. That's where you should be viewing your highlights on Sunday night. All of us, if you talk to 5 dudes, I guarantee you get 5 different options where he watches his highlights. Here's why I don't like the bulk of highlights that they're talking about. The highlights, you'll watch a whole game. Just say, bro, they break down a whole game to about 4 or 5 plays in highlights. And when you go on SportsCenter, Good Morning Football, a bunch of these things, man, Monday Morning Court, like they do like about 4 or 5 plays. Chris Berman and Primetime will walk you through the game. They show all important plays with some music in the background. If you don't know Chris Berman, he got all these phrases that he say he could go all the well, like he does that. He makes it exciting. He got Booger with him. I forgot his last name. His first name is Booger, so that's
McFarlane.
Hilarious. Yeah, McFarlane. Yeah. And it was Tom Jackson. Long time ago, it's Chris Berman, Tom Jackson.
Have you seen the memes? The memes from Booger McFarlane? Have you seen the memes from Booger McFarlane whenever he was on the sideline?
Hilarious. No, he used to be wilding on the sideline. He used to say some stuff that I used to be like, "Oh, you,"
or just some of the most obvious stuff in the world. Like it was. I mean, I'm not even getting into it.
No, he's ridiculous. But Chris Berman and Booger McFarlane, y'all want real highlights from a game? Like I'm telling you, per game they spend about 5 minutes or like 4 minutes a game.
I'm embarrassed. I don't even know this.
Huh?
I'm embarrassed. I don't know about this show.
No, you got it. Young NFL. They spend like 3 or 4. They spend a long time a game. You get to see all the good plays. They get to see. Okay, then they scored 7. Then they went back up. Then they went up 3. They showing all of this while he's narrating it with Booger. And Chris Berman is. He is the Michael Jordan of highlights. If y'all don't know who Chris Berman is, there's no highlight for the NFL. There's never been nobody like him that does highlights. He's been doing this since I was a little bitty kid when I first started watching when I was 9. He's been doing this for a long time. So Chris Berman is the GOAT at it. Now he got Booger. They do something called NFL Primetime. They have redone this show. The show was on when I was a kid. It went away. It came back. It got special theme music.
I should probably recant that. I knew that was a show when we were kids. I didn't know that it.
Yeah.
It was
it came back. It's back, and he does it again. If y'all want real highlights, you really want to see football on Sunday that you missed. The only show that shows the complete highlight is NFL Primetime. If you go to any other thing, you can't even go to Game Day Highlights. I forgot that dude's name. He's kind of rushing through. He's showing you about 4 or 5 plays. It's some games where they show 2 plays. Like his bomb and this where they fumble. Okay, this was the score, and then they move on. That's not the game. You don't get NFL Primetime. You will not be sorry. It's the greatest highlight you will see from Sunday. It come on Sunday night, but if you got the app, you can just watch it anytime. But NFL Primetime, underrated. You will not regret that.
Yeah.
Joe Gamer,
go ahead, Mike.
My wife keep telling me to get off and go to bed. Thanks for listening to my rants and imagines. Have a good night. Rise up and out of my Joe Gaming. You tell your wife we love her and we love you, buddy. Thanks for coming. Sorry for keeping up so long, buddy. But we are wrapping it up.
Yeah, we're almost over. Yeah, you can catch me Overrated tomorrow.
My overrated is 2 things that are near and dear to me. Number 1, I'm gonna go Drake London. London. Drake London is
as a player or the pick.
As a player, and I'm gonna tell you why. I from what I can see, I would vouch for it. Oh, he's probably amazing. He's strong. I seen him strong arm a few balls. I seen him get in position. I've seen it. He played excellent. Like, I can't tell because the volume is, I can't tell if it's a superstar, and I just can't tell. So, like, everybody else can tell that this dude is a superstar. I can't tell. Like, I can't tell with 3 targets a game or 4. I can't tell. Now, even though it's like Roddy White. It was like, I've seen him do some slants that you caught. I haven't seen you do shit amazing. And I love Drake London. I'm not just saying, I haven't seen you do something where I can be like, oh my God, I'm so glad you went in the first round. I haven't seen nothing that would justify your first round top 10 pick. I see, and I'm not saying it's not capable. That's not his fault. I'm not dragging him. I'm saying the team does not use him a way that would show to us that we did good on our first pick. Because right now he catching 3-yard slants, he catching 4-yard outs, and he catching curl routes. And they be like, I told you, he gonna beast. And I be like, I didn't see a beast. I saw somebody with a curl route. I saw somebody on a slant. So I don't see what everybody else saying. I think he's capable of that. But to get me to do that, to get me to vouch for him, I have not seen one play that I thought he blew. Oh shit, Drake London, I can't believe. I said everything I can believe. A slant, I can believe you caught. A curl route, I can believe you caught. I can believe you strong arm somebody. You big as shit. So I can believe you did that. I just got to see more for me to vouch. Oh my God, I'm glad we picked them top 10. Because right now I don't see it. The second part of my overrated is the Atlanta Falcon fans. I love y'all, but I hate you motherfuckers sometimes. Y'all are the most fickle fans of any sport. And 1 week y'all be like, yeah, go rise up. We have a bad game and y'all be just dragging. You want Dean Pease to get fired. You want Arthur Smith to get fired. You want Mariota to get benched. You think Kyle Pitts is trash. The stuff y'all tweet sometimes and the overreactive nature that y'all have is like, are you really a fan, or you just say that when it's cool to say? When we get we beat the 49ers and everybody said we're supposed to lose. So when the underdog win, it's cool to be a Falcon fan. But then when we get the brakes beat off our ass, now you're not a fan and you're not really in support of the team. And how so many of y'all are on board with the dragon of Matt Ryan. There was a lot of Falcon fans tweeting those things, saying, I told y'all we need to get rid of this old mother and this person is. Y'all turn off this fast to people, man. And I man, Roddy White and all them, I forever be their fan. I forever like you know what I'm saying, Tevin Coleman and Devontae Freedom. Excuse me, Freeman. I will forever be these dudes fans. I'll forever be like, oh, I remember when, man, I seen Cuz in the mall and ran down. I never do this. I seen man Freeman in the mall. I said, man, we gotta take a picture. I took a picture with him, and it was awesome, man. And he by himself, cool dude. But I'm just saying, it just seemed like y'all really one time for the fans said, what's good? What's up, buddy?
Jack, how you doing, bud?
I'm just ranting, buddy. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm saying that
Mike's been going off this episode, man.
Are a bit overrated because y'all are mean. Yeah, he said that they tweet for likes and attention. You guys y'all turn on your team, the whole team. Y'all turn on the quarterback when he go on. You turn there. See, Roddy White is a Hall of Famer. Call us all. These are, man. Y'all got to be fans, true, like thick and thin, no matter what. When we lost Super Bowl, hurt like shit, I'm still a fan. I love Matt Ryan. He go to the Colts. He's not playing so well. I'm still a fan. Tevin Coleman is out the league. I went and got him on the fantasy football for no reason. I just want him on the team. I went and got Freeman. He out the league. I'm not saying that you guys have to do this, but yeah. I'm just saying y'all got to be consistent in your fandom. Y'all turn on the team whenever they don't win week to week to week. I'm not saying have a critical, like I hate the offensive line. They could have played better. I'm not saying don't do that. But y'all turn on the whole team like, welcome. I can't watch so many people. I can't watch the Falcons. I can't even tune in no more. I'm not wearing no jersey until they straighten stuff out. I cannot be a fan until they. So you can't be a fan until we winning. Wait, is that a fan?
Yeah.
I don't understand you guys. Is that a fan? And y'all are the most critical of Georgia team. Dog, when like other teams, the Browns sucked for years and years and years. I didn't really hear people from Cleveland dragging their team.
Oh, I'm sure they did. That's a special group up there too.
Yeah, right. So what I'm saying is like the Georgia Falcon fan, like the Falcon fans in Georgia, y'all turned on Matt Ryan when he was here. The arguments I had with y'all that was turned on your own quarterback. Y'all turned on Michael Vick when he was in trouble. Y'all turned on him. Y'all turn on every Falcon that leave. You just turn on like fuck them. I don't care. When they get in trouble, you say fuck. And I'm just like, dog, y'all need to relax and be better people and better fans, because this is ridiculous. We will struggle, we will play bad, and you should want tweak improvements, like, oh, he shouldn't call that, or he got to move him here, or he shouldn't be starting it. That's normal. But to turn your back and say you're not wearing your jersey, or you're not going to be a fan, or you don't even want to watch, or you're not going to support the quarterback that had you back for 14 years, or you want the coach fired in the second year, or you want this. Hey, listen, man, be the fuck quiet sometimes. Quiet your mind and your mouth, and you listen with your eyes. That's what most of y'all need to do. Just listen with your eyes and close your mouth. Your grandmother told you listen with your eyes and close your mouth. Y'all are overreacting. So with Falcon fans, some of y'all are completely overrated. Y'all only want to wear these hats and these sweatshirts and these cool colors when we doing something cool. When we struggling, y'all abandon team, and y'all go and you root for the Hawks. And I'm gonna tell you, I won't even get on the Falcon fans that are talking about that 2-team shit, because my other team, your other team.
Yeah.
Listen, buddy, we don't do that shit. That's like saying my other guy, I'm a blood and a crip. Because my other gang, whoever winning, are you a blood and a crip? Because whoever up right now, man, you can't do that shit. So I'm just saying, be better fans, man. Because we can't really have this continue.
100% agree, man. 100% agree. One time for the fans that I had my rant yesterday on my podcast. Yeah,
thank you, buddy. So I'm not going crazy. He had a one time for the fan had a rant too. Not just
I got the first half done. I got to finish the second half. And the native said when we get all of our starting CBs, we back. That'll definitely help, man. It'll definitely
positivity.
Help. And then one time from the fans said my rant yesterday was on how Bengals ain't won shit, but the stadium was sold out. Yep. And fans never sat down the entire game. Nobody on their phones, just yelling and screaming for the team. 100%, buddy. He said no empty seats either. Yeah.
The Bengals have been struggling all year. I know how they looked amazing against us. They ain't been playing that well. They just starting to get it together.
Yeah.
You see all them fans, see how they still was like, Jamar Chase. He had been shit in the bed for a few weeks. They were still like, Jamar Chase. They stayed loyal to their team, man, no matter what the struggle, and the team paid them back for that. Y'all jumped ship at the first sign of struggle.
Yep. All right, buddy. So I'll do my underrated, overrated. I've got one of each, and then we'll close out the show here. So my underrated is just being quiet. Like we've talked about it before here and there. Like just you don't have to comment with everybody, like on everything. And here this is why this came up. John Calipari, coach for the Kentucky basketball team, right? John. Mm-hmm. So he saw a picture of a guy, okay, and it's on Twitter. He tweeted it out. And the dude is filthy. He's sitting in front, or he's sitting in the stands with his son. Looks like he just came out. A coal miner, right? Coal miner worker. Mm-hmm. And he said, "Thank you." Or he said, "My family's American dream started in the Clarksburg, West Virginia coal mine." So this picture hits home for me. From I've been told after his shift, he raced here to be with his son to watch our team. I don't know who this is, but I have tickets for him and his family at Rupp Arena to be treated as VIPs.
That's awesome.
Awesome, isn't it?
That's awesome.
I mean, fantastic freaking story. All right.
Yeah.
So the guy's wife responds and said, "This is my husband, Michael McGuire, with our son, Easton. Sorry, I had to create a new Twitter account. Lost access to my old account since I already use Twitter. We can be reached by Instagram, Facebook, or this Twitter account." Great. Awesome. So he reached out to him. Next comment. This dude responds back to his wife now and says, "If I were him, I'd ask for opportunities, trainings, education to do better job, career to increase the odds of living long enough to watch my son graduate college and babysit a couple of grandkids." What the fuck are you doing? Like this was a feel good, nice, happy. The dude, not everybody. It's not for everybody, man. It's just not. Mm-hmm. You know what else? What else is crazy? You didn't have to say a word.
Nothing. Nothing at
You
all.
didn't have. You could have thought that.
You could have thought that. I was gonna say, yep.
You could think that. That's fine. And it's not even. Yeah, I mean, look, and this is kind of like personal for me because my family, my family's from Virginia. I have coal miners, and my grandfather was right. Side note: he lived to be 90 years old. Anyway,
there you go.
it's not the most healthy profession. We know that, right? But I mean, like, but regardless, man, like that's a great story, man. This guy's helping out this family that's probably not very well off, and it's like, and then it's a string of just like, man, it's disheartening, man, to see like people like that. I don't get it, man.
No, I agree. I'm gonna tell you something. We all have to practice this. Everybody. You don't have to say everything you think, and you don't have to post everything you say in your mind. All your opinions are not valid, and everything you feel isn't true. Just because and I just don't. That was awesome. You see somebody, but it's to see somebody as a hard worker who couldn't swap out their clothes before they came. So he would swap out his clothes and get in a jersey or at least something to look. But he couldn't. That's why I gotta just take my son, and that's why it was cool. And that's what made it cool. Is like that's a dad. That's a dad. That's a real dad. Like, hey man, I'm a little dirty. I'm sweating dusty, but me and my son at the game. That's a real dad. That's a good dad. So what John Calipari did was, was like he gave that man free. That was amazing. All you should have been seeing was beautiful gesture, dog. That's dope. I hope him and his son enjoy the game.
100%.
So go and like he need to educate. What he need to do is get an education. He need to be asking for education since he don't even like make no money. Then he wouldn't have to be a coal miner. Then he wouldn't have to come to the stadium dirty. What are you talking? I don't even know what you talking about no more. Like we talking about a beautiful jet. I don't even. Why you feel the need to shit on it in any way? To shit on his education or to shit on the gesture. It's just weird that people feel like I don't even know what would push you to be like, I have to say this. Like
I don't either. It blew my mind. I was like, why? Like I just don't
like why? Like I just have to say this.
Yeah, it's like a different generation, dude. I don't know. One time for the fans said about Cincinnati, they had a fight song. Yeah, that's awesome.
See?
Good for them. Damn it. And then there's us winning for 10 plus years that Ryan spoiled us.
They did.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I think a lot of the fans that grew up with Vic winning and then like having that little bit of period in between, and then you had Matt come in, all of a sudden, boom, 11-5 his first season. So all those kids I say kids, but I mean like younger guys that grew up, like they weren't, dude. We grew up 90, and I mean we had some bad teams. We watched some bad football, and then we had some decent at the end of there. But I mean, yeah, it's one time for the fan. That jacket is.
That's what I said, dog. He got the starter Falcon jacket.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, dude, I had to. I saw this, man. Falcoholic posted it. I had one like this, almost like this when I was a kid, so I had to jump on it, man. I had to. All right, and my overrated. Early Black Friday shopping deals. Like you're already seeing them, right? And this is why it's overrated, damn it, because I go buy shit for myself.
Yeah.
Like I can't, like I start seeing these deals and I'm like, man, that looks cool. That looks cool. And then by the time it gets like, man, is like you've already bought like everything that you want to get. So what the hell am I going to get you? So it gets earlier and earlier every year too. Like there's already like there's already these deals. It's October, man. There's already it's not even Halloween yet. There's always it's crazy. But that was I thought about that earlier because I saw some things that I like.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what is crazy is I have never done Black Friday, but the fact that I know that's just that people get killed for TVs and shit, like, and I don't mean like they get robbed. I mean if you trip,
I got a funny story.
They will stomp on your back instead of like I'm getting the DVD player. So like it's hilarious but kind of sad.
Oh, I got a funny story. One time for the fan, Falcons going to the playoffs.
Yeah, no, I still agree to that.
Yeah, I understand.
One time for the fans said Falcons are going to the playoffs this season. I stamp it. I concur, sir. I'm not that sad.
Yeah, I don't think that's stopped yet. So funny story on that Black Friday thing, and then we'll wrap this up because we're approaching that long time again. But so when I'm dating the hell out of ourselves, but you'll know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So when I worked at Circuit City, which is a store that no longer exists, but it was like Best Buy for anybody that doesn't know what it is. And when I was in high school, and we at the time VCRs was still a thing. And for those y'all can Google that if you don't know what a VCR is. But anyway, there was like a high def like whatever you want to, not high def, but it was, I forgot, it was I even forgot what the term was.
Yeah.
But it was like our Black Friday deal. It was like a $69 whatever VCR, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, there was folks lined up down like the entire strip down to like 3, 4, 5 stores deep, right? When I'd never seen anything like this. I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
So these people rushed in. They rushed, they grabbed these boxes. They're all checking out. And I kid you not, there was 2 fights in the parking lot over that damn VCR. Damn. Like literally fist fights. One dude, I was walking out. Look, true story. I was going to lunch. I was walking out to get the hell out for a while. And the dude runs up behind the one dude, grabs it out of his hand, and takes off toward his car. That dude chases him down.
Damn.
Tackles him into the street. And they start going at it. I was like, what VCR, is happening for a freaking VCR, man?
We love crazy stuff. We will stomp on our grandfather for stuff. Yeah, there are old, the people at like Walmart who just be like, hey, how you doing, man? Welcome to Walmart. Bruh, they've killed 2 of those people and they were elderly. That means like your grandma saying, how y'all doing? Welcome to welcome to Black Friday. And y'all just start stepping on her as you go toward the item you want. That's hilarious. But really sad that we come to
really sad. It's really sad. But anyway, guys, all right. So we've spent hang on 1 second. Owen Time for the Fan. Any thoughts on Bo Pete Keys? No new 6'1" CB added to practice squad today. Secondary banged up as well. Does he get reps coming up sooner? Do you think Falcons shopping for a few new players? We had a little bit earlier, man. Yeah.
This is why I love One Time for the Fan. I don't know who that is. I think you just made up that name, sir. Bo Pete Keys. I don't believe that's a human. All right. But no, I don't know who that is. So that's why you gotta love One Time for the Fan.
Man, I think anybody's gonna get looks. I mean, especially like what Arthur said, if it's a long-term deal for AJ, then you're going to have to find like somebody to come in. Yeah, because we didn't have super depth there. Now we really don't have super depth now, like at all. Like the depth's gone. So I mean, like, yeah, I'm down with whoever getting a shot. Oh yeah, that's right, Mike. You wouldn't know this because you didn't watch college. Yeah, that dude was from Tulane. Yeah,
is he good, John? He's just big.
It's tough, man. Tulane's not really a football school by any stretch of the imagination. So I mean, but yeah, he's a good size. I mean, like, so yeah, I think he'd get some looks for sure. I mean, like I said earlier in the show, I said I'm down with going and getting if there is a veteran out there to grab, you know, and go pick him up because we could definitely use it. When he said a 7th round pick from the Chiefs in 2020, yeah. So yeah, I mean, something like that. I'm down. Why the hell not? We got to get. I don't think we're going to trade for anybody. But if there's another free agent out there that might fit, that's cheap, yeah, why not? Because like I said, we're going to need it. But anyway, guys, we'll wrap this up, man. We'll be back Thursday previewing this Panthers game. So only a couple of days. So you got a few days to listen to this one, and we'll be back with another show. And as always, guys, catch us on the Variety Sports Network every week. Here on YouTube, you can listen to us, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. If you're listening to us on iTunes or Spotify, drop us a 5-star review. We will shout you out on the show. At least if it's on iTunes, if you write us something nice on iTunes, we'll see it. We can shout you out. On Spotify, just drop 5 stars. We won't know who it is, but hey, thank you for doing it. It helps us get seen more by other Falcons fans. Of course, on YouTube. Pound the what's the terminology? Pound the subscribe button or pound the like button and subscribe? Which one is it?
Man, I just say smash the like button.
Smash one of the buttons and then subscribe. There you go. And one time, good show, fellas. Rise up. Yes, sir, buddy. Rise up.
We love you, buddy.
Yeah, we gotta hook up on.
I was gonna say, man, we gotta get you on, man. You gotta come on.
We gotta do
and get out of your Falcon mind, buddy.
Absolutely. But anyway, guys, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us for almost 2 hours, and hopefully Mike's rant and some of my I don't know what you want to call it. My smooth jazz
and
my smooth transitions to try to keep you calm was entertaining enough for you guys. So,
we bring you up to bring you down out of your Falcon mind.
That's right. All right, boys. We appreciate it. Much love, guys. We'll catch you on Thursday.
Let's go get Deion Sanders or Champ Bailey to start as cornerbacks on Sunday. I love you guys. Out of your Falcon mind. Peace.